Okay, so we've talked about why you want to recruit, and we've talked about just kind of busting through those limiting beliefs and really believing that you can recruit. But now let's talk about like where do you recruit? Where are you going to find these recruits? And I'm going to talk about kind of two categories. First, we're going to talk about personal parties, because in my opinion and in my experience, this is where I get most of my recruits. Other people are different, but for me personally, this is where I get most of my recruits. So that's why we're always talking about keeping your calendar full as the first step to being a strong recruiter. Because recruiting really is a numbers game. You are going to hear no. Write it down. Get comfortable with no. You have to hear a number of no's in order to hear your yes. So start to think about, no's is a good thing, because the more no's you hear, the closer you are to your yes. But because it is a numbers game, we need to have a good amount of personal parties, because that gives us an opportunity to interact with lots of people, and it increases the likelihood that we are going to find people that we can talk to about joining Usborne Books and More. And it increases the likelihood that some of them are going to join our team, or that we're going to find the recruits that we want to join our team. So I really recommend that you focus on keeping your calendar booked up, that you double book. There is such a good benefit to double booking, because if you're going to be spending your evening working your business, you might as well have two parties, because frankly, hostesses are some of the best recruits. And so let's say Tuesday night is your party night. Then now you have two hostesses. That's two potential recruits instead of one. So double booking, if you are not already doing that, talk to your team leader about how you can start doing that, because it's so helpful. Once you have those parties, I want you to start looking for red flags. People who ordered really, really big. They obviously love the books and they are really into them. Maybe they would want to get some with our, consultant kind of rebate discount. And through our Climb rewards and all of that, maybe they would be really into that. Look for people who are really engaged in your party. They're having fun with the party format. They're commenting a lot. They're engaging a lot. Look for those people. If you have some sort of post in your party, which you should, that's all about the business opportunity, really pay attention to who interacts with that, who asks like a really kind of intelligent, good, pointed question about the business, who seems interested. You need to start looking for that. You need to start treating your parties more as opportunities to find recruits than even sales, because sales will come. Our books are amazing, and if you're using a great script or party plan and doing good follow-ups, sales will come. But start really getting to know those customers or potential customers in the party and seeing who might be somebody that you could approach about this business. And then I recommend that you do two things. In a previous video, I talked about ways that we could streamline the recruiting process. I recommend that you set a quota for yourself for how many people you should ask per party, and that you have stock wording ready to send, because that just makes it less exhausting. You don't have to mentally exhaust yourself so much thinking about what to say. So I recommend that you make your quota that you're always going to ask your hostess, unless she's just like a totally like ghosting you hostess. Like, as long as she's like an okay average hostess, you're always going to ask your hostess. And then I challenge you to always to find 3 other people every party that you can approach about the business. Doing this will change your business. If you're not writing anything else down, write that down. If you're going to focus on recruiting, you need to focus and choose to have an ask quota. So every hostess gets asked, and then 3 more people every party, and have stock wording ready to go. Hey, I saw that you ordered a bunch of books, and it made me think, have you ever thought about being a consultant? You could get a discount on these, and there's a lot of ways to earn more. Like, have stock wording. Or I couldn't help but notice that you asked some really great questions on this post. Have you considered consulting with UBAM? Have that wording ready to go. Or, you were so much fun in the party tonight. I loved having you here. have you ever considered consulting with UBAM? Have it ready to go, like on your computer in a little note or whatever that you can just paste in so that you're not having to be like, oh gosh, what do I say? What do I say? Doing that is going to help you so much. You've probably heard this before, but ask your hostess 3 times. Ask her when you set up your party, or her party, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm setting up your party. I just wanted to check in because many hostesses do want to do this. But are you interested in turning this into your launch party and getting a kit? Just ask them. They may say no. Okay, no problem. Then once they're doing a great job with setting up their party and getting their friends invited and all of that, hey, you're doing amazing. You have so many people interested. I know I asked you before, but are you sure you don't want to turn this into your launch? It's super simple to get a kit, and then you could get free books and commission from this. And then finally, once their party goes super well, hey, I know I've asked you twice, but I was able to make, 25% of your sales. I really feel like you would be so good at this. This is how, you could have made $150 doing this. Are you sure that you don't want to join? Because you got 2 hostesses from your party. They could be the hostesses that help you launch your business. Oftentimes, putting it in those terms, letting them know like, oh, I could have made this amount of money. So like my party that I had when I joined, Sarah told me how much I would have made after I had it. And that's why I joined. So, and you can find a way if you're struggling with, well, how do I comfortably bring up how much I would have made? Ask your team leader. We will help you come up with wording that you're comfortable using. All right, so that's parties. That's personal parties. Now we're going to move on to the other way that you can find recruits, and that is in your personal network and through social media. I'm kind of lumping that together. Recruiting through social media is literally an entire training. So I'm not going to go into that right now, but I will post in the next day or so on this event some of my top tips for recruiting through social media. So be on the lookout for that. One of the things that's great about recruiting through social media is that you can start now. You don't have to wait to book up your calendar. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And then also just your personal network. That is a great thing to do in your recruiting notebook, is like brainstorm all the people in your life. Just like write down everybody's name and go through and think about who might be good at this business, and then ask them to book a party with you. That is one of the best ways to just kind of open that door, because then when they get in and they're doing great, then you can kind of do what we talked about just a minute ago and ask them if they want to turn that party into their launch. So definitely don't overlook those people in your life who could be great consultants, especially if you're a little bit new to this business. I promise you, you have some friends who would really love doing this, and you don't want to overlook them.